Hi all and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to be going over my first impressions of the Star Wars Legion Pseudo 2.0 rework. Now that I have gotten about, I want to say 8-ish games in with the new rules, as I did not get a chance to play Legion much in the second half of last year, so I've kind of been cramming it in to December and January, I feel much more confident about making a few comments about these, even if it is a little later than my initial impression video last year, where I just briefly went over it for like 3 minutes. While it is not technically called 2.0, I do feel like that's the best way to describe it, as it's an advancement and a change for the better, and it really does feel like more of an addition refresh, especially since they're reworking all the factions, even if a lot of the rules are pretty much the same. The biggest change is the increase to 1,000 points. So I personally love that change. I think it's a lot better, especially with the price of Legion as it is. However, recently a lot of the new releases have had prices raised, and I think that is a really big problem. But that is for a later video to talk about the prices of war games. Let's get into the new mission system. The new mission system is absolutely fantastic. I enjoy it so much more than the old one. I liked the old one, and I liked the give and take, but I like how the new one has a give and take with that era of randomness. I love the idea of the advantage cards. I love that some of the most annoying mission types are gone, and I absolutely love how the scoring and the secondaries work. It makes the game feel a lot more engaging and a lot more give and take than a lot of the other missions, which were score at the end. The secondaries especially feel so much deeper than what we had before, mostly because now you can build your list around trying to get those secondaries, and all of the secondaries are really fun and really easy to get. Well, technically easy, but you know what I mean. And on to cover, a system that I had previously made like a 10 to 15 minute video on. The new cover system is so perfect. I love rolling dice for cover saves. Like Bolt Action 3rd Edition and many other systems, it is not nearly as bad as it seems, and feels a lot better for smaller die pool attacks. Now those hero attacks that before most likely wouldn't get through cover without the use of something like Sharpshooter or maybe Precise, or Piercing, or just, something. Now they actually feel like a threat. Because yeah, you roll white dice and then you roll your normal save, but still, it's so good. The idea that those smaller dice can actually do something to someone behind cover, it's what the game was missing before. It's what every other cover system did wrong. It's way better than just canceling out hits. The only feedback I have is I wish shields could be taken after cover saves, not before you roll anything. Because the shielding tokens, especially on the Mandalorian warriors, just don't feel nearly as good because, of the order of operations. But that was also a problem before, so, it is what it is. And to briefly go over each faction, starting with the Rebels, the reworks they've received are very well deserved, and I am looking forward to diving deeper into all of the changes in a later video, probably after the full rework is released. As a highlight, most of the heroes are now worth taking, especially the older ones, and I love Fleet Troopers so much more with that charge keyword and how they work. All of the cores now feel viable. Like, before there was obvious better core choices, but between the Rebel Veteran, the Fleet Trooper, and the normal Rebel Infantry, all three feel good. The support and heavy slots rework are fantastic. All of those cards are much better than they used to be, especially with the points change. The Rebels really shine now, and are a much, much better choice to take than they were before. The Empire did not receive as many changes as the Rebels did, but what did change I don't have any complaints about. They were already strong, and still are. Krennic and Veers feel like the big winners, as both are much more viable, which allows for more themed lists to be taken. And I am a Legion player who enjoys taking a themed list more than I enjoy taking a good list, if that makes sense, although I like them to be hand in hand. I don't have a ton of comments other than that on the Empire. The Separatists are one of the big winners of this rework, as Grievous feels so much better than before, and B1 battle droids are being, really, really spammed now, as you can get a unit of, 12 droids out there for under 80 points? Absolutely annoying to fight against. There is a local player who usually brings 3 squads of reinforced B1s, and it is arguably one of the most annoying experiences I have had playing Legion, but there are easy counters for droids, such as taking ion grenades, etc. So make sure to keep that in mind when you build a list. Put something anti-droid in there, especially if you don't know who you're going up against in a tournament, etc. If not, they can be a lot to take care of. The Republic are the biggest winners completely. They feel like a different faction, and it's so good that it does. Fire support is pretty much completely gone, and instead the clones feel like they can stand on their own. Being a low activation army in Legion, fire support often hurt them more than it helped. And now that they are just a little bit better and don't have a keyword that makes them lose their activations, I love it. I love playing them now. I love the Republic and the clones so much more. Anakin and Obi-Wan's reworks make them feel a little better, although I do miss Anakin's old command cards. His new ones, in my opinion, are not as good. And all the vehicles feel so much better and stronger to use, which was another big issue. But that Saber tank, or even the LAAT LE, is so good now. I can run a dual LAAT LE list, which I might have to buy LAAT LEs to do, just because they're actually good and they're fun and they're thematic. Although I'm going to have to do a couple tests of some Tabletop Simulator first. The Republic are good now, and they should be good. And I'm happy they're good. Shadow Collective, I am tossing in here because they are my personal army, the one I run the most. They mostly benefit from the cover changes. It helps the Mandalorians feel a bit more reliable. And the swoop bikes were FAQ'd to have Overrun 2 now, making them so much more threatening than they used to be. The big issues with Shadow Collective kind of remain the same. The Mandalorian Super Commandos, which are the big thing that I love Shadow Collective for, and I feel like most Shadow Collective players play Shadow Collective for, are not the best. They still only have 1 wound, and their shields don't have recharge, and yeah, the cover system helps them feel better, but for the price you pay, they don't necessarily feel the best, if that makes sense. My only wish to make Shadow Collective better for this new edition and new era of Legion is to make the Super Commandos 2 wounds, or to make the shields they have recharge, so that way you're not punished for using shielded as much as, you can. That's it. Any other changes I feel like would be kind of pointless. The Pikes are okay, the Black Sun are pretty good, Maul and Saxon are fun to use still. Like, everything has a place. And with the points increase, you can kind of mess around more and have a better Shadow Collective list than what you used to, which benefits the faction a lot in the long run. But yeah, my only wish, make the Commandos slightly better. That's it. Legion is in a really weird place right now for me. The price increases recently have me a little worried that it might not be my go-to wargame anymore. The new ARF Trooper pricing is absolutely egregious and is more expensive than Warhammer 40k models, which I never thought I would say. If anyone is interested in getting into Legion, I recommend buying some of the old boxes now before they go out of stock, because we don't really know how much more expensive everything is going to get. I wish companies would actually care more about people and actually not try to steal their money by doing random price increases after you do arguably one of the best reworks your game has ever had. But that's the world we live in. I hope all of you enjoyed the video. I will be making more Legion content soon. I am kind of waiting to do a big remake of all my old Legion videos until the full reworks are out, because I don't want them to be out of date. So once those come out, look forward to seeing multiple videos from me whenever that happens. Have a wonderful day all, and have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you all next week either with a longer bolt action video or a video about miniature painting. Whatever I am able to get done to a high standard first.